In Minneapolis, Minnesota, Governor Walz and the mayor, Frey, should be nervous because President Trump is getting ready to invoke the Insurrection Act because their protesters, the ones they encourage to take to the streets and impede legal law enforcement operations, have now resorted to destroying federal agents' vehicles. They descended on some unattended vehicles last night and totally destroyed them. Out of the back of one of them, they ripped out what is called a lockbox. They had a truck hook up a cable to it and pulled it out of the vehicle. They broke into another one and they stole an agent's rifle. Have a look at this video clip. You're going to see the mayhem and you're going to see what Governor Walz and Mayor Frey are encouraging in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I'll tell y'all now, they on the Snapchat, so they gonna be on y'all ass if y'all recording this. They gonna be on your ass. They gonna be on your ass. Your ass is a witness. Hey, don't hit them.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And those protesters destroying the agents' vehicles, the governor and the mayor and the police chief, Brian O'Hara, will tell you they're peaceful. They're not doing anything wrong but supporting their community. I don't see anyone holding signs. I see people destroying government property. That right there is an arrestable offense, but the agents aren't there for the protesters. They're there for a specific reason. They know who they're looking for. They're going after known criminals who came into this country under Joe Biden's watch. But you cannot tell the politicians in Minnesota this because all they want to do now is abolish ICE. They'll tell you ICE agents are going out there and murdering innocent people. And all that destruction from those peaceful protesters started after the immigration agents got into a chase with a known illegal alien criminal. They went to do a car stop, the alien took off, and they had to give chase. And this right here is what happened, and this is why the protesters now are destroying government property and stealing firearms.
6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight, quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This is another attack. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers.
So the mayor, the governor, and the police chief are okay with federal officers getting attacked, getting hit with sticks, broom handles, shovels. They're okay with that. But when one of the agents was in fear for his life or the lives of his fellow officers, he took out his service weapon and fired. He shot the guy in the leg, and they're acting like they murdered 10 people. These people are out of control, and the one reason they're doing it is because they're being paid by some left-wing organization to go out there and interfere with law enforcement operations. They want to protect the illegal criminals who are in that city from any law enforcement officer. The police department is not going to help. They are under orders from Mayor Frey not to assist other law enforcement agencies. Police Chief Brian O'Hara, at the very least, should be stripped of his title and fired from his job because he's going against the grain of what we like to call the thin blue line. He is outright refusing to assist fellow law enforcement officers because Brian O'Hara knows that all of these people are known hardened criminals from other countries, but his mayor, his boss, is telling him, you do not interfere. You let the agents do what they need to do, and if they get hurt, so be it. This is Minneapolis, Minnesota in 2026, and this is the reason why President Trump is going to invoke the Insurrection Act. He has no choice. That city is out of control. The politicians there have encouraged people to take to the streets, destroy property, interfere with law enforcement, and it's only a matter of time before protesters start showing up with firearms to confront the officers. That is going to happen, and agents' lives are going to be lost, and it's the fault of Jacob Frey, Tim Walz, and Police Chief Brian O'Hara. And if you go back to that first clip where they stole the rifle out of the back of the police car, you can see the person who had the gun case in his hand. He had a nice, big, pretty tattoo on his face. I'm pretty sure he's not a bank teller, and I'm pretty sure he has no corporate job. What I do believe is that he's a gang member, and all the cops in that area know him, but now he's in the possession of a rifle that belongs to the federal government. These people, every single one of them who destroyed this property and stole government property, need to be tracked down after the agents are finished dealing with the illegal criminals in that city. And all the people who committed these crimes need to be held accountable. And the three main people who should be arrested and charged for this is Tim Walz, Jacob Frey, and Police Chief Brian O'Hara. They are encouraging the violence, they are encouraging attacks on federal law enforcement, and they have no problem with it. They don't care about their own citizens. All they care about is the illegal, hardened, known criminals who have come into that city because they know it's a safe haven for them to continue committing their crimes. I can't wait till President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act and the United States military goes in there and completely cleans house. It's going to happen. Just wait and see, because it's coming real soon.